you myself. You get the envelope from your doctor, maybe going out to dinner with my husband and opening it together, finding out what we're going to have, and then that's the reveal between him and I, not having a big get together.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I mean, it's going to keep getting more and more extreme, right? Has anybody ever had a guy jump out of an airplane and whatever the chute is like the...
Ooh, that'd be cool.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Or arrange a plane to crash and it explodes in blue flames or pink flames.
No.
Okay. I mean, that might be expensive, but it'd be really cool.
All right, so the first ever underwater theme park
300 people died today, but it's going to be a girl.
will be opening in August, and it's going to feature a sunken Boeing 747.
Oh, Heather, too soon. I just made a joke about plane crash. Well, I don't understand an underwater
So
theme
it's
park.
for divers.
So they go diving down and they explore a plane, a crashed plane?
Yes, it's going to be the world's largest underwater park.
Yeah.
There's going to be artificial coral reefs.
Great.
There's going to be art sculptures.
Scuba tanks to go, I assume.
Of course. Oh, yeah. You got to be certified scuba divers.
Hold your breath? Yes. It's going to be underwater, Stoney.
Yeah, there's going to be like this little house you can explore. All sorts of things.
I'll tell you one thing, the lines won't be that long.
No, they probably won't. Are there going to be corpses on the plane or what?
Probably.
Okay, yeah.
Smuggled in for sure.
And baggage
Just strewn all over. You can open it up and find out what's in it.
What's in it? Yeah. The little black box. You can find out why the plane crashed.
Ooh, that's what they could do.
Yeah.
Oh, Mom.
Prize for whoever finds the black box.
Can we go to the Titanic?
Yeah.
The line's not that long.
Oh yeah. I don't think it's a line for each thing. You just go down and you swim around.
Yeah, you go to whatever you want to go to.
You're gonna fast pass the plane.
You're just waiting in line.
Once you're down there, there's the Titanic, the Poseidon.
You're being ridiculous, Tony. You can't speak underwater. Come on, you've ruined the whole bit. Just kidding.
Oh, sign.
I know.
Try a wet erase board.
Wet erase boards. All right, Heather. Thank you very much. Would you like to know what clue number 4 is for the random Ohio-born athlete?
Yes, please.
For sure.
Good, then we're going to tell you right now. Clue number 4, and again, if you know the answer, the first correct call at 248-539-9797 will win. He had a 1,000-yard receiving season for one season with the Lions. He had a 1,000-yard receiving year for one season with the Detroit Lions. Up next, a man who had 0 yards receiving for the Lions, Bob Winowski, Wednesdays with Wojo.
Watch the Rocket Mortgage Golf Classic with Sully? Visit the contest page on 971theticket.com for your chance to win 2 tickets to either Saturday's or Sunday's rounds on June 29th or 30th at the Detroit Golf Club, courtesy of Greektown Casino Hotel. Must be 21 years of age to enter.
Hey, Rich, nothing says summer quite like the new Jeep Wrangler at employee pricing.
Hello, how about a Ram truck employee pricing? A trailer and a boat. Now that's summer.
Well, at least we agree on giving employee pricing to everyone. Saving thousands in minutes makes car buyers happy.
Tanya, employee pricing for everyone makes me happy too. Pick out any Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram you want. Here's your employee price. Here's your super low payment. It's a win-win for everyone.
Over mileage on your lease or upside down in your loan? Lalonde Land, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram helps people just like you every day.
Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Lalonde's lenient lenders will get you approved, and you still qualify for employee pricing. Come see me, Rich.
And me, Tanya.
Today, during the summer of Jeep sales event.
At the all-new Lalonde Land, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram on M53 in beautiful Imlay City, Michigan.
Call 810-724-0444 or click on LaLondePricing.com.
Exclusive limited SRT models and gladiators. The invention of the computer was...
Genius?
Yes, and the internet.
Genius.
And now the Genius high-yield checking account at Genesis Credit Union.
Genius?
Yes, Genius. With just 10 debit transactions a month and e-statements, you can earn an unheard of 4.06% APY.
4.06?
Yep. Plus, earn reward points for travel, gift cards, and more. 28 locations, 30,000 ATMs, and online at genesiscu.org. Genesis Credit Union.
Genius.
Federally insured by the NCUA. Annual percentage yield paid on average daily balance of up to $7,500.
Mike Chappell here, serial entrepreneur. In engineering school, I was required to take one course in business, Accounting 101. Compared to thermodynamics, physics, and calculus, I figured Accounting 101 was my blow-off class. on my midterm, I begged my sister, an accounting teacher, to help me ace my remaining accounting tests. She agreed, but only if I would teach her to dance in her backyard while her neighbors were watching. How humiliating! That's why I created my 5th successful business, Patriot Software, to provide accounting software that never humiliates non-accountants. Go to patriotsoftware.com, use promo code RADIO, and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
Are you a big guy fed up with clothes that don't fit? Here's a tip. Head to DXL. Anyone can make a bigger shirt, but DXL makes clothes that actually fit. That's all they do. Want to know their secret? Okay. They've spent years developing their own sizing patterns to make sure it's a comfortable fit every time and every size. Good luck finding that anywhere else. So head to DXL.com and check out a store near you. DXL Big and Tall. Built for you at DXL.com.
At Walgreens, we know that your day doesn't stop for diabetes. So when you've got places to go and people to see, count on Walgreens every day to get expert diabetes advice 24/7. Find all major brands of testing supplies like Walgreens True Metrics in-store and online. And download tools to help you stay on track, like our 5-star mobile app with pill reminder. At Walgreens, we are your diabetes go-to. Stop by and talk to your pharmacist today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Picura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, log on to nbthealth.com.
I know you wanna do it. You know I wanna do it too. Out here on the dance floor, we can make sandwiches.
All right, it's time to talk to Wojo. Wednesdays with Woj, our good buddy here on 97.1 The Ticket. You can hear him every day at 6 o'clock with our pal Kyle Bokey. And, of course, you can read him in the Detroit News, where today, Woj has written about a lot of things over the years. He's written about curling. He's written about ice hockey. He's written about the Olympics. But I'm going to go on record and say today, for the first time in his life, Bob Winowski has written a college baseball column. True or false?
Well, I believe, Jamie, that is true.
Yes.
I've also written about college softball, and I've also written about ice fishing.
Even when you,
And that's it. That's the list.
even your work at the Michigan Daily, you never did any
Oh,
Michigan
no, that's
baseball?
true. You're right.
Oh, Stoney.
Yeah, that's true. I've
sorry.
also, you want to talk about rarefied air? I've written about a Lions playoff victory. Oh, yeah, I did. Look it up.
Yeah, you're just making things up. All right, so, Woj, before we get to sports and stuff, I got to ask you a personal question, if you don't mind. I'm seeking your advice as somebody who's lived through the same thing. In the last, I mentioned this briefly yesterday, we're going to maybe get into it more tomorrow. In the last 3 days, I have found horrifying animal remains in my backyard, okay? We found the essentially chewed off face of a bunny rabbit.
Oh!
And then my youngest daughter, your goddaughter, who is, I believe, is only like 2 or 3 years old. She's actually 10. She found, and I mean, if this isn't the stuff of nightmares, you tell me. She found 2 legs of a baby deer, like a Bambi almost, attached to like the, I guess, either front or rear of the deer, and the rest of the deer was missing.
What the hell are you doing over there?
But I thought this happened to you like every day.
Well, yeah, but that's part of who I am. That's not you.
You know what the amazing thing is? The deer, the baby deer, had an injury before and was cleared by the vet to actually enter the yard.
Do you see what he did there?
Let me say this. As an animal death expert, for
Yes.
no apparent reason, at
Yeah.
my house, you have a coyote.
Yeah, no,
We thought that.
I understand that, but but why is my house the dumping grounds? Why, like, you know, it's like Pet Cemetery, for God's sakes.
Well, it happens, and I did have to swing by there about a week ago and drop some stuff off, too.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Sorry about that. I should have alerted you.
All right, well, Stoney alluded to it. We talked about this a little bit. You know, we know how you feel about Kevin Durant, so I'm not asking you to rate him as a basketball player, but I personally, I know you weren't on the radio yesterday, so maybe you were waiting today to do this. I was somewhat offended, honestly, at the blame game that was being played by certain members of your industry, the media, when it came to Kevin Durant. And they're trying to blame the Warriors, they're blaming Durant, they're blaming... It's like, can't we ever have anything where, wow, that sucked, that happened next? Or do you see some person or some entity to blame in all of this?
I think there is blame, and I think there should be blame, because this, and listen, I don't hate Kevin Durant. I know people think I do, and he's a great player. But this is what bugs me about him. I think he heard everything. All the whispers coming out through the media that, oh, teammates wondering why he hasn't come back yet. And Steve Kerr would have these, yeah, we think he's going to practice. Oh, he didn't really go today like we thought. Oh, and I believe he felt he had to show that, I mean, in an elimination game, that he was going to give it his all for a team that maybe, you know, or a fan base that maybe was still suspicious. He's going to leave after this year. So if there's blame, again, did the Warriors like 100% clear him? Did they say like, oh, if you go out, there's nothing worse that can happen? If they did that, which we don't know, they're 100% to blame, okay? 100%. But if not, it is kind of on Durant and the society we live in, where people get these Twitter pitchfork outrages. Where is he? Why isn't he playing? He's already checked out. He's off to New York, where I think athletes or people in general feel compelled to answer it, and it costs them. But I do have a conspiracy.
But see, okay, well, I don't care about your stupid conspiracy. But what is wrong with an athlete answering the call? What is wrong with a guy saying, I choose to play. I want to play. I want to prove the doubters wrong. I want to do it for my team. I want to win the championship. I mean, are we now going to critique guys for playing? Is now Kawhi Leonard going to be the golden boy for not playing? We need more Kawhi Leonards who sit out entire seasons.
Kawhi Leonard was certainly more suspicious of the medical care he was receiving, and bolted San Antonio and became the best player in the game. Partly because
all right.
And now back up just a second. You say, what's wrong with, Kevin Durant wanting to win a championship? You really think that was his motive?
I think there were a lot of motives, and I think it's disingenuous for you to try to attach motives that may not exist.
Okay, you're right, but we're just spitballing, throwing it.
No, we're stating facts.
And look, there could be no blame whatsoever.
Or there could be a lot of blame.
Right. I want to find out. Because people are criticizing the Warriors for not making him getting a second opinion, or himself for not getting a second opinion. Do we know that there was never a second opinion? No. We don't.
But don't you find it? Here's my little slight conspiracy. Don't you find it odd that apparently the weekend right before when he came back, there were stories out in San Francisco, anonymous players grumbling, wondering, Steve Kerr wondering why. And then when Steve Kerr, after the injury was asked, he said, go talk to Bob, the GM, who stood up there and cried his eyes out because he sounds like he made the ultimate call. And then here's my other conspiracy. When did the injury happen? What's today? Wednesday? 2 days ago?
Yes.
How come we still don't have a diagnosis?
He had his MRI yesterday.
Those diagnoses come back usually the night of.
So what are you claiming? That they know that he tore his Achilles and they don't want us to know because it's going to make the Warriors look bad?
Or he didn't tear his Achilles, but he injured himself again, and they don't want to walk back their tears, the tearful diagnosis, and the devastating news. They don't want to deal with any more criticism like, oh, wait. What
about if it's an injury that would be with him anyway because it wasn't that, it didn't break, and the only way to fix it would have been surgery, so you might as well play. If it breaks, we got to get the surgery anyway because it would have never gotten better without surgery.
Well, I mean, let's wait and see, but, I'm joking about a conspiracy theory, but I am finding it curious that everyone's just going with tore his Achilles heel and he's out for a year, and 2 days later there isn't a whisper of that.
I just Googled Bob Wanowski and grit, and I got 20,800 results, and they're all different. So that means you've used the word grit at some point in your career 20,800 times. And I just feel like if Durant hadn't gotten hurt, he would be being celebrated with that G word, and it would be right up there with Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson playing for Kareem and Willis Reed. But because he got hurt, now we're questioning his motivation. I mean,
well, what are we supposed to do? Are you going to ignore the fact that he clearly wasn't ready physically? Unless I'm not a doctor, but unless the doctor tells me he had a calf injury a month ago, but there's no way he could have re-injured it in a game. Unless you tell me that, he clearly was not fully healed. So somebody rushed him back or he felt compelled to come back.
Again, Matthew Stafford rushed back on the field and threw a winning touchdown pass against the Browns. Isaiah Thomas played the entire second half against the Lakers on one leg. That's what sports is made of. Guys who are hurt and play through it. Nobody thought this was going to happen, and if they did, then there will be lawsuits and probably jobs on the line.
Well, I don't think I hate to say it, I don't think it's ever going to come out as black and white as we wish it would. That's why we have to opinionate upon it and have our theories.
You mean like the Mueller report came out black and white?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But come on, forget it. Forget what you know I've said in the past. But you don't think that Kevin Durant's defensiveness and sensitivity about how he's viewed and what people are saying about him, and he has 18 burner phones and is always going, you don't think that played a role in him going, okay, I'm going to go for it?
It might have, but that's okay.
That he's perhaps put his career or the short-term part of his career in jeopardy because of what people were saying?
Well, I don't think it's the whole reason. I think it might be a part of it, just like it could be a part of the Warriors said, you know what, he could get hurt, he could not, but, we'll clear him. I mean, he certainly looked healthy in the first quarter.
Well, no, of course he looked healthy, but supposedly once you have that calf strain, the Achilles is back. Then one's connected to the other. Listen, I'm not sitting here saying anybody should be fired. Go ahead. Laud Kevin Durant for giving it a go. A lot of people are, and it was very admirable the way he was playing at first. But when something like that happens, you do got to get to the bottom of what led to it. Which decisions led to it. I don't think you can just say, hey, it happens.
No. Okay.
Can you?
All right, well, then we will lump you in with, Stephen A. and Skip Bayless then.
Wait, they're on that take?
I don't know. Actually,
No.
They're
They're on the Warriors.
The ones who are anti-Warrior are, I think, Barkley, Jalen, and Rob Parker. That's all I've heard. So,
Wait, anti-Warrior meaning the Warriors pushed them?
Yeah, Warriors are completely
Warriors are to blame, right?
I think they probably nudged them at least, don't you?
I think there was some nudging.
Nudge. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, unfortunately, we don't have any time to talk women's soccer or college baseball, so we'll have to table that until next time.
Unbelievable. They ran up the score on Thailand.
Yeah.
They ran it up.
It's an outrage. All right, Bob, thanks for the time as always. There he is, Wednesdays with Wojo on 97.1 The Ticket. By the way, we do not have a winner yet for the Tiger. Oh, we do have a winner. Oh, we have a winner. Congratulations.
Beautiful.
We'll tell you who that is coming up next on 97.1 The Ticket.
Hey, Taylor Chevrolet is the dealership that can handle all your automotive needs. An expansive new car inventory with hundreds of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs. There's surely one for every lifestyle and budget. Taylor Chevrolet is one of the largest selections of certified pre-owned vehicles. Many are one-owner vehicles with a clean Carfax. Taylor certified pre-owned vehicles pass a 172-point inspection, come a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper limited warranty, and 24-hour roadside assistance, plus a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty with courtesy transportation available. They have great service there. I got my Equinox there. Love the place. When you buy a certified pre-owned vehicle from Taylor, you get an almost new car at a greatly reduced price. Taylor Chevrolet also arranges financing. Even the most difficult credit problems are often overcome. Apply at TaylorChevy.com for instant credit approvals. Taylor Chevrolet will work hard to get you driving a stylish and reliable car today. On Telegraph Road, north of Eureka, Taylor Chevrolet says yes.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
This traffic update sponsored by the Michigan Lottery. I-94 westbound at Ecorse Road. A crash along the right lane and shoulder has traffic slow through the stretch. In Northville, 8 Mile Road eastbound just west of Beck. The intersection blocked here due to a 3-car crash. Beck Road northbound and southbound is also slow moving. Avoid the area if at all possible. You deserve a bonus. Treat yourself to a $2 million bonus instant game from the Michigan Lottery. It has over $74 million in total cash prizes, and there are over 25 chances to win on every ticket. Play new $2 million bonus. There's bonus fun in every one. I'm Tracy McCaskill here in the WWJ 24-hour traffic center.
Mike Valenti, afternoon.
The NBA needs to go to the European rules where once the ball hits the rim, the ball's live. Let's just cut the crap with the Star Trek Next Generation cylinder of death and all that. Get rid of it. It hits the rim, the ball's live. I don't care what, it's live. That's it.
That helps eliminate the replay issue.
Correct.
Don't even need it anymore.
Let's play basketball.
Exactly. Mike Valenti, afternoons 2 to 6 on 97.1 The Ticket. This CBS Sports Minute is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. Belinda Stronach and Roger Goodell wouldn't seem to have much in common. Stronach is a billionaireess, a former member of the Canadian Parliament, whose company owns, among other properties, Pimlico, home of the Preakness, Gulfstream Park, and Santa Anita. Albeit only a multimillionaire Goodell is, we all know who he is. What they share in common, apart from commanding major influence in their respective sports, is hypocrisy these days. Claiming that her company's concern for the safety of the thoroughbreds at her tracks is paramount, Stronach nonetheless refuses to shut down Santa Anita. This despite the recent deaths of 29 horses and despite repeated pleas to shut down issued by the California Horse Racing Board. As for Goodell, he's again laying the groundwork to push for an insane and dangerous 18-game season. So much for his concerns about player safety and well-being. As we all know, money talks. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Lowe's knows you'll do it right to find the right gifts for Dad this Father's Day. We do it right, too, with deals that'll make Dad as proud as his perfectly seared steak and his perfectly manicured lawn. Now get a Char-Broil 4-burner Advantage Series gas grill for just $169. And pick up your choice of Craftsman gas or electric string trimmer for only $99 each. Make this Father's Day his best one yet. And do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Char-Broil offer valid for 6/12. Craftsman offer valid for 6/19. U.S. only.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens, and they need people who can keep up. With the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
In today's real estate market, I find home sellers want options. How about a flexible commission plan? How about a guarantee? Cancel your contract at any time? Folks, it's Mark Z with EXP. I'm not bragging, I'm applying for the job. Call me, Mark Z, today at 844-SOLD-BY-Z and start at
Dr. Stanley with Ideal You Health Center. If you're 50 pounds or more overweight, I can turn your body into a fat-burning machine in as little as 10 days. That's right. If you're a big fella, you have a ton of untapped energy in the form of fat. At Ideal You, we'll train your body to use that fat as fuel. Only Ideal You weight loss is tailored to men who need to lose 50 pounds or more. Unlike other weight loss programs, there's no hunger or exhaustion since your body will be burning through thousands of calories of fat every day. My buddy Tony Ortiz lost over 50 pounds with Ideal You, and over a year later, the weight is still off. Call 1-800-IDEAL-U and get your full body consultation for just $29. You'll learn how to naturally ramp up your metabolism and start shredding stored fat instantly. Consultations are normally $100, but call me today to schedule one for just $29. Call 1-800-IDEAL-U right now.
Results vary based on physical health and adherence to program. No weight loss guarantees are provided or implied.
For the most honest roofing company in town, search Oaks Roofing. That's OAKES roofing.com. Oaks Roofing, OAKES.
Father's Day this Sunday when the Tigers host the Indians at 1:10. The first 10,000 men receive a Father's Day toiletry bag courtesy of the Detroit Medical Center. For tickets, visit Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. Now available for download. Always Aggravated, a Mike Valenti signature podcast. Get it on radio.com and Apple iTunes.
1-1. Swinging a pop-up. Shallow right field. Castellanos in to the raindrops, and they let it drop in between Hicks and Castellanos. Oh, man. Hicks looked at Castellanos for some reason. Castellanos looked at Hicks. It was not Hicks' play. And they let it drop in between them. A pop-up. Gore scores 3-2 Royals on a misplay.
And Castellanos did not play that very well. No error charged because the ball actually has to hit the glove, and baseball to be given an error, which is a stupid rule, kind of an unwritten rule. Also,
It's a written rule.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think
I don't think they can charge an error unless you actually.
Well, it's up to the official score. It can do whatever it wants, right?
So if you lose a ball in the sun or the lights and you're standing right there and it falls a foot behind you, I thought you couldn't call that an error.
Or what if there's no sun? What if you just missed
Right.
the ball, like you blink or something?
Right. No, like Bump Bailey.
That should be an error.
Right, but it should be, but I don't think it ever is.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's a written rule about it.
I think I've heard Dan Dickerson talk about this on the air during the broadcast, not necessarily last night, but an error is assessed if, like, an average effort would have resulted in an out.
Right.
Okay. So wouldn't then Castellanos technically be charged with error? He should have been charged with an error then, you know?
That was average.
So I was wrong about Draymond Green. Speaking of review, the technical foul was not rescinded. So
Okay.
he obviously is playing with fire tomorrow night when he plays. They did come out and say that they should have allowed 2 free throws for Marc Gasol and a play with 40 seconds to go. They seem to ignore the fact that Marc Gasol was holding on to Draymond Green with both hands as he was trying to get to Kyle Lowry before the final shot was taken. That was a pretty blatant miss. I don't know. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, Stoney. The offensive foul that was called on Boogie Cousins.
Yeah.
And you made this point, and to be fair, and I'll give you credit for it. Well, we all agree it was a foul. Most everybody I read and heard yesterday said, yeah, but it's never called.
Right.
You never see that called.
Especially in that situation.
Well, no, I mean, no. You see it called
Right.
in the first quarter, the second quarter, and the third quarter.
Right.
You don't see it called at that point in an NBA Finals game.
Right.
I thought it was a foul.
I didn't think it was blatant. I just thought it was, you know.
Yeah. Congratulations to Justin from Cadillac, Michigan. Justin has won himself a 4-pack of tickets to see the Detroit Tigers take on the Cleveland Indians Sunday, June 16th, 1:10 for Father's Day. They're going to have a toiletry bag courtesy of the DMC for the first 10,000 men who walk through the gates. For tickets, visit Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. The random Ohio-born athlete was none other than Mike Furry. The clues were he was a walk-on at Ohio State for 1 season. He played for 3 NFL teams. He had a 1,000-yard receiving for 1 season with the Lions. And I once interviewed somebody else thinking I was interviewing Mike Furry, and it took me 2 questions to realize that it was not.
Who was the other person again? I forgot.
Ted Lehman.
It still cracks me up. That's what you stuff.
Well, Gator, I mentioned this earlier on the air. Usually when your partner walks into the studio, he says to me or Stoney or Tom or Greg, "What's hot today, guys?" And I said, "Same thing as always, women's soccer." You know,
Right.
I mean, it's dominating the headlines. I mean, we got more women's soccer phone calls today than we've gotten Tiger calls since the season started. and I actually don't think that's an exaggeration.
Wow.
Yeah.
I watched part of it yesterday.
Yeah, there you go.
I did not do the double dip, but I watched.
What was a double dip?
Well, they the encore presentation at night.
Oh, you didn't rewatch?
No, I didn't rewatch the 13-0
Oh.
draw.
No. I'm not a big sports rewatcher. Like, you rewatch games, don't you?
Not really.
I will, but
Like, I'll talk to Wojo and he'll be like, "Yeah, I covered the Michigan game, then I came home and rewatched it."
I think their football games, the Michigan State football games, have free watch.
Yeah.
You know, they crush Michigan's hopes. It's always great.
Oh, yeah, I watch them for entertainment purposes, like on ESPN Classic, but...
No, but
for
even like if I've recorded the game,
Yeah,
it,
just to kind of get a different
Yeah.
vantage point, yeah.
yeah, or to just smile some more. I did with Red Wings' first Stanley Cup. I taped that game and watched it.
Speaking of, the Russian 5 is now available for on-demand download. Our man Evan watched it last night, so it was very good.
I want to ask Gator the question we asked with Michigan State. I was at dinner the other night with about 8 people. Like half of them were Michigan fans and half of them were Michigan State. And I would just say, did you watch the baseball game over the weekend? And all of them, even Michigan State alums or whatever, said that they're going to root for Michigan in the College World Series because it's not football or basketball. They don't care either way, so they might as well, their school's not involved.
Where are these Michigan State players?
See, because I believe in like the ancillary sports like softball and that maybe you would have more of a crossover than you would if
we got probably a billion. We got a billion texts roughly, and the only one who said anything close to it says, "I am rooting for Michigan baseball because I want to see the baseball coach do better than Harbaugh."
That's funny. Were these Michigan State grads?
Yes.
Stunned by that. No, I watched part of it over the weekend because I wanted two reasons. A, I wanted to see the Tiger prospects.
Right.
UCLA, didn't they just draft some guy?
Yeah.
And two, I wanted to see Michigan lose.
But don't you root for Doug? I mean, he's your friend. Like, don't you like I root for like Stoney's teams when I have no
Here's
dog.
my question. I want to put you on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Kerr, who's a Tiger draft pick, plays for Michigan, keeps coming up at big at-bats in the College World Series. You want him to do well?
No.
So basically you're rooting for Michigan to lose more than you're rooting for the Tigers.
Well, I'm rooting for Michigan to lose, yeah.
One doesn't have anything to do with the other, because once Jimmy Kerr takes off the Michigan uniform and puts on the Tiger uniform.
Jimmy Kerr's already been drafted, so...
Fair enough, but
whatever he does in the...
But it was like watching Cody Clemens a couple years ago. When we found out Cody Clemens was a Tiger, we all got on board the Cody Clemens watching him in the postseason.
Yeah, well, I don't really care what happens with Texas, so that's fine.
Right, the point was my friends were making was if it's not football, if it's not football or basketball, they'll root for either.
I think it's harmless. I root for all Big Ten teams in college baseball because the whole system is skewed against the Big Ten.
Yeah, great.
Southern schools and so.
Well, it's Mother Beach.
Yeah,
skewed against the Big Ten. Yeah,
that's changing.
I just root for you guys. Like if it's a team that you guys want to win, I want them to win. I say I want Michigan baseball to win because it makes you happy.
Well, it's been an unbelievable run for them.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
So you can stop anything.
Well, it's not stopping before Saturday, buddy boy. All right, what's coming up on the show?
Well, we will talk about this controversy ahead of the Women's World Cup.
It's hot, dude.
There are a lot of moving parts in this story. I'm not sure how much you got. There are. Yeah, there really are.
There shouldn't be.
So we'll get to that at 10:05.
97 won the ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. A radio.com sports station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Bic Flex 4 sensitive razors. Go to bigflex.com today for a coupon. Another game, yet another loss for the Tigers, who fall to the Royals 3-2 last night in Kansas City. That loss, the 19th in the last 25 games for Detroit. They're now 15 games below the 500 mark for the year. The Tigers and Royals will play again tonight in Kansas City before wrapping up that 3-game series tomorrow night in Omaha, the site of the College World Series. Speaking of the College World Series, it's a travel day on this Wednesday for the Michigan baseball team, which begins play Saturday afternoon in Omaha when the Wolverines battle Texas Tech. During a recent appearance on the Michigan Insider Show, head baseball coach Eric Bakich was asked what it will take for a team like Michigan to win this year's title.
It's just going to come down to who plays the best. That's who's going to win these games in Omaha, because everybody's got good players, everybody's got a good team, everybody's hot, or they wouldn't be here. And it's going to just come down to execution and how you play and who can be the loosest, the quickest.
That clip comes courtesy of WTKA in Ann Arbor. The St. Louis Blues look to earn the franchise's first ever Stanley Cup title with a victory over the Boston Bruins tonight in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Face-off is at 8. Some soccer news this morning. Team USA opens up play at the women's